Welcome back to another immaculate grid, the second one in my college dorm, and it's one pretty old franchises, I guess. Latest from 1969, and let's see what we can do. Padres and Giants. Let's go with Downtown Ollie Brown, 0.5%. Downtown Ollie Brown and Reds Padres. Let's go Bob Tolan, 1%. Okay, I guess. So that means the Reds and Padres don't really have anyone good. Padres 300 career average. That is going to be 95% Tony Gwynn. Probably. I'm not going to guess him. I do know that Roberto Alomar hit exactly 300 and played for the Padres. And then the Astros one is probably going to be entirely Altuve, because I don't think Craig Biggio got to hit 300, because he kind of hung around a bit at the end of his career to try and get to 3,000 hits, which he did, but I mean, sacrifice that 300 average. Let's just go with, I don't think I'm going to come up with anyone else. All right, 2%, which, I mean, as I said, that's probably because 97% is Tony Gwynn. And then 1% is probably like, I don't know, Gene Richards or something. Did Gene Richards hit 300? If he did, I'm going to be mad. No, he hit 290. Okay. So I'm not mad, because if I would have guessed him, he obviously would have been wrong. Astros 300. Let's go with Moises Alou. Played for the Astros for a couple years and hit like 350 for them one year. 9%, okay, I guess. I guess the Astros don't really have anyone either. Astros and Reds. They had Tommy Helms, Jack Billingham, obviously Joe Morgan, Astros and Reds. Astros and Giants have had Joey Amalfitano, 0.2%. I think he's still alive. Yeah, 89 years old is Joe Amalfitano. And Reds, Astros, who can I go? Dennis Menke. Reds and Astros. Johnny Temple. 0.09%. Johnny Temple. Very notorious hothead. Could not keep his temper under control. Orioles and Giants, or basically pretty much Browns Giants, which is what I'm going to guess. Browns and Giants. Frank Demery played for both teams, though I feel like I've guessed him like 5 times. Who else played for the Browns and the Giants? Browns and the Giants. Rogers Hornsby played for both teams. Browns and Giants. Bob Elliott. Did he play for the Browns? I know he played for the White Sox. I think he did play for the Browns in like 1953. He did. 0.03% for Mr. Team, one of the more underrated players of all time. A 50 career WAR guy. You would never expect it from him. And Reds and Browns, let's go with George McQuinn. 0.005% for George Hartley McQuinn. He was a victim of one of the weirdest rules of all time. I think it was in the late 30s. There was a rule that the pennant winner of the previous year could not make any like waiver claims or trades, and that was enacted to completely. The only reason it was made was because the Yankees were winning the pennant every year back then. And so I think he was involved. The Browns tried to trade him to the Yankees or something after Lou Gehrig obviously couldn't play anymore. But I'm not entirely sure. I do know that a player named Rip Radcliffe was going to be traded from the Browns to the Tigers. And that broke the rule because the Tigers had won the pennant the previous year. But no one really did anything about it, so the rule was pretty much over. Also, George McQuinn, if you look at his stats, you can see during the war years he was a regular before the war, and he should have been hitting much better during the war, but he didn't. And if you see, 1947, randomly at 37, had 132 OPS plus. That's because during these years, the reason he couldn't go to war was because he had a bad back. So he had to stay with the Browns. And in 1947, he began wearing a back brace, which obviously helped him a lot. And he rejuvenated his career. So if he was wearing a back brace in these years, would have put up much better numbers. And Browns 300 average, let's go with someone like Johnny Tobin. Rarity score of 13. Listed in the encyclopedias, such as Baseball Reference, as Jack. He was never referred to as Jack. He was always called Johnny. And by many reports, he is the best drag bunter of all time. He used to say, I hit 030 and bunted 300. And yeah, it's on those Browns outfields that had him, Ken Williams, and Baby Doll Jacobson that were really good, but not some of the great outfields ever. But Rarity score of 13. Yeah, Tony Gwynn 92%. Makes sense. So I will see you tomorrow.